Never thought of it before. But anyway, we decided that obviously we'd need the right gear and the right cars, and then we should meet up with all of that in the most ecologically diverse country on Earth, Colombia. Colombia is nature's treasure chest. Its endless soaring peaks, vast forests, lazy rivers and babbling brooks are home to a greater variety of birds and animals than you'll find anywhere else on Earth. Of course, common sense dictated that to get our pictures, we should meet far from the stain of humanity. But for some extraordinary reason, Richard Hammond decided that the start point should be in the middle of the night, close to the bustling city of Cartagena, on a tropical beach.
Morning.
Morning.
Why did he say meet on a beach, and why did we listen to him?
Where is he? Hammond!
It's 4 o'clock, for Pete's sake.
Oh, is that a Fiat Panda?
Fiat Panda 4x4.
It's terrible.
It's fantastic.
No, that's fantastic. Look at that. That is a sturdy car, that is. What's that? Well, wasn't that a distressed flare?
Well, a red one is a distress, isn't it?
What's that?
Hang on, is there a person on? There's somebody on it.
Hello? Hello?
Hello!
It's Hammond.
Is that your car?
Yes, this is my car!
It's his car. As the sun began to rise, we asked Hammond to come ashore so we could work out what on earth was going on. Well, where do we begin? Why is your car there?
Well, because that's where the boat dropped me off.
What boat?
Well, I shipped it from North America.
Yeah.
They got to here, wrapped it in polythene, lobbed it over the side me with it. That's how they do it.
Problem we've got is, how are you going to get your car from there to here?
I was rather hoping that would be we'd do that. That's
No, if you listen carefully, he said how you're going to get your car from there to here.
You singular.
It's you, meaning you.
What?
No, he didn't say
You may
us.
just get a... Eventually, though, James relented and agreed to pull Hammond's car ashore. Right, go, mate. Go, go, go. Give it a yak.
3, 2, 1, go.
James, what is that? I mean,
It's got 49 horsepower. It's going to ruin it. Get
can
the
we find a
Jeep.
small dog instead to tow it?
That is presumably a pickup truck. Yes?
Yes, you've guessed.
And four-wheel drive?
Yes.
Right. Why don't you go out there, cut away the polythene back, and drive it out using the engine?
It's a good idea. Because what you don't do when you drive a car is use the engine in someone else's car. Use the one in your own car.
Yes.
Unfortunately, though, it wouldn't start.
No.
So, after getting brained by the waves for a while, he waded ashore again and came up with a harebrained scheme where the Fiat would be an anchor and the Jeep a tug.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, shit. Hammond, you moron!
Well, I couldn't do anything. I got no steering. I was
Why didn't you tell us?
I was yelling on the radio. You pulled me
This
from a
family has
building.
loved this car since 1991, and you turn up from bloody Wales or North America or wherever it is you've been, and you've already ruined it.
Listen, it's been a bit of a cluster thing. We need to work it all out. We need communications properly organised.
What is
You
that?
need
That?
It's my ladder.
You bought something you can't get into or out of without a ladder.
It's very high up.
So far, Hammond's pickup had wrecked everything on the beach and all my cameras and cost us 10 hours. So we told him to shut up again and get it working. And once he'd done that,
Yeah!
we headed into Cartagena to buy some cameras.
Right, this Jeep Wrangler hardtail cost £8,000. And absolutely everything on it works. I think it's going to be ideal, though, for wildlife photography because it's four-wheel drive, it's a Jeep. So I could use it to track a snow leopard. It's got a 4-litre straight 6, so I could start with a diving eagle. And of course, no roof, fold-down windscreen, so a 360-degree field of fire for the camera.
Let me fill you in a bit on my 1998 Chevy CK Silverado. It's a full-size American pickup that's been made a bit bigger with a lift kit and modifications that I'll tell you about later. Most importantly, it's got a proper big old 7.4-litre V8 up front in a very lazy state of tune, just churning out huge gobbets of grunt. I have four-wheel drive, high and low ratios. That and this massive lift kit, I can go anywhere with it. No animals can stay away from my lens. Probably most wildlife photographers use things like this anyway. You don't see it, on the telly with Astro and stuff. It's behind the scenes. This is how they get there.
Now we're alone, viewers, let me tell you a little bit about my car. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, that's just a Fiat Panda, and they're in South America, they're bound to be going over difficult terrain, yes, yes, yes. But let me tell you this, what you need for serious off-roading is smallness and lightness. That's what I've got. This is a tiny car, it weighs 780 kilograms, a quarter of what Hammond's stupid monster truck weighs. Go! Now, if you compare this with the original Series 1 Panda, it has a four-wheel drive system made in Austria, very dependable, slightly raised ride height, but the same engine does have inclinometers on it, so that I can see when I'm about to fall over. It all works, the lights work, the hazards work, the fan, the cooling system, all the instruments, the windows, the automatic mirrors, it's all perfect, apart from the bit that Richard Hammond damaged. Full throttle.
Soon we arrived at the really rather beautiful walled city of Cartagena. Eventually, having got our shopping done, we met up for a camera show and tell. And once again, Hammond had gone completely over the top.
This is a 50mm prime, really fast, beautiful lens. Then I've got another harness. So that's for the actual camera. Importantly, of course, camera body. Very good one.
Well remembered.
And most importantly of all, telephoto lens.
Shall I show you what I've got?
Yes?
I haven't bothered with any of that. I've just gone for the telephoto. Not one of yours, but that. This is all I've got. That's all you need.
Well, that is literally it.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Well, are you going to photograph animals in this country? It's a lot of glass.
Clear this away. Let me show you what I've got.
Right.
That is a camera.
If we'd been tasked with photographing somebody's 21st birthday party...
Perfect.
Welcome to 2018. Everything you've got in all that kit that you've just shown us is in there.
Show me your zoom lens.
Behold the
What,
lens.
is it a cold day?
Behold the zoom. The woman in the shop said this camera takes good pictures. That's enough for me.
Keen to get cracking, we hit the streets and began immediately to do animal photography. James, move, you're in my shot. Woof. We're gonna get further away.
Oh, Christ, I've got a macro on. Stay. Pigeon. Don't scare it. Oh!
Get out of the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, am I annoying
Yes,
you?
you are.
Well, yes,
you
you
can't
do to
possibly
me.
need to be that close. Hello, horsey.
Eventually, we got into the groove. Got it.
Look at my pigeon.
And after just 20 minutes, we met up to celebrate a job well done.
Yeah, I've
So
got
quite
a
good.
dog.
You've got that horse one.
I've got the
Have you
pigeon looking gormless.
I think haven't we pretty much done
A
it?
number of dogs and a number of horses.
Which
and
are-
the spider's the spider had gone, but I've got the whole of spider. That's habitat.
You've got where the spider lived.
That's habitat.
Oh, hang on, sorry.
That's what they want.
Chaps, we have a message here from Mr. Willman.
What does he want?
It's bad news, I'm afraid. Amazon don't just want pictures of pigeons, dogs and flies. They want interesting stuff as well. They insist the following must be included: a condor, a spectacled bear, a jaguar, and a hippopotamus. And they must be wild, you can't just go to a zoo.
Hippopotamus. You don't get those here.
They didn't have them here, did they?
In Africa.
Well, how are we going to do that then?
How the hell are we going to get a picture of a hippopotamus in South America?
Well, you've got a really long lens.
Well, I know, but I happen to be on a very tall
We
mountain
reached
to
to
see
Africa.
Africa. Well, I'll tell you what we're not going to see lumbering by here. The next day, armed with our new and more challenging instructions, we decided to make an early start. We continued onwards, acutely aware that so far our mission was not going well. What photographs have we got between us so far? Have either of you two got anything you could put on an Amazon screensaver?
I have a selfie with a donkey.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use my donkey photograph, that's for damn sure.
We've got nothing between us so far at all.
In a bid to pass the time, I dreamed up a simple game. Hammond, why don't you pull alongside your colleague in his, let's be honest, 1 litre Fiat Panda with your 7.4 litre monster truck, and let's see who's got the slowest car, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Away!
Richard Trailer Trash Trump Hammond has been beaten, and beaten big time, bigly.
I mean, I don't want you to take this personally or anything, Hammond, but your truck must be utter garbage.
Absolute garbage.
You wait, this thing will come into its own soon and you'll be left gasping.
I'm longing to see the environment where that comes into its own. Since the Jaguars weren't going to be in built-up areas, we ploughed deep into the jungle, along a dirt path that was once a railway built by the British.
No. Keep your panties off. Please don't laugh.
Right, Jaguars, they are very difficult to spot and very, very rare. You don't want to come face to face with a Jaguar, though, because it does have very strong bitey bits. Kills its prey by biting through its skull and then penetrating its brain.
We drove for miles along the disused railway until eventually LGB Jeremy came to a halt.
Gentlemen, I'm rather confused here. We're approaching a bridge, okay? It says no cars, no people, no motorcycles, and no horses.
Well, what's it for then?
Moments later, we found out. It's all right, James. Why don't you just... He is actually going. James doesn't like heights.
Oh, did you see that one just moved?
Yes. What is that? Hold on. That's
careful.
1, 2. You've got 7, 8, maybe 8 feet.
But that means I'll have to drive. I can't.
Wait, it's got massive tyres. You'll just be running on the outer ones.
Well, so I get to this bit. My car is wider than that, and that's wider than my wheel. It won't do it.
And that's high, actually. What is that, 300 feet?
Some hundreds of feet, yes. Oh dear.
Even though Hammond isn't at all accident-prone, I went first. Seatbelt on or off? Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really?
Go. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Oh, bollocks. Very quick. Drive carefully.
Oh. Right, I've made it. That's good.
Hammond, you will shit your pants doing this.
Well, that's helpful.
I already am watching.
Go. Not looking down, thinking about other things. Now very slowly. Not going to work. Go. Ow! Come on! Right then, let's go. Forward. goes faster. Here we go.
And then it was the turn. Big Donald.
Oh, God. The only way I can do this is by looking at the driver's side tyre and keeping it as close as I can to that edge. And hoping to God that gives me enough. Oh, Christ.
Again.
I'm shaking like I've never shaken.
Go, go, go.
I can do this. I am doing it.
Oh, just that. Oh. Okay.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh.
Not that way. Bloody hell. Crossing this bridge is just part of my journey.
Where are we going? Give me everything you've got.
Who is that clippity-clopping across my bridge?
Oh, God. Not the Billy Goat Grab game.
I will move my Jeep out of your way. If you can answer this simple prog rock question.
I don't know anything about prog rock at all. Let me off the bridge, I'm going to be sick, please.
Eventually, Hammond became quite irritated, so I abandoned the game. And soon, all of us became quite irritated. James, have you broken down?
Yes.
Problem is, you have people on the extreme left, James May, people on the extreme right, Richard Hammond, and it's always the liberal, sensible people in the middle, like me, who cop for it.
Eventually, having fixed the Fiat, I was back on the road again.
This car is just amazing.
But then,
Oh dear, I think I've just lost the exhaust pipe. This is tremendous. It's like being on a rally stage. Away! Forward. know that Tony and Sherry Blair were, in fact, massive World Rally Championship fans. In fact, I think they took part in a couple on the quiet. They just didn't want people to know about it. They thought it would sort of damage their reputation and their standing. Unlike, say, starting a war.
Further ahead, my long lens had grabbed a couple of animals.
I don't believe Amazon will be rushing to have that as their screensaver.
But we had yet to bag a jag. However, as it's a nocturnal animal, we were hoping for more luck as darkness fell. Eventually, though, after driving deep into the jungle, we arrived at exactly the sort of spot where jaguars like to hang out. This is extraordinarily promising.
I'm bored, and I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes.
I'm being eaten and I'm bored as well.
I think if a jaguar came now, I wouldn't see it. My eyes have shut down. From boredom.
What are we going to do?
I don't know, but that is boring.
No, because honestly, I mean, the truth is, people could come out here for 40 years and not see a jaguar.
Well, we could use my trap cameras.
These are trap cameras.
Set it up and they're triggered by an animal and then they take a picture.
Well, you've got those with you?
Yeah, in the bag.
Well, why the hell didn't you say that when we turned up?
Nobody asked.
These are set off remotely.
Yeah, if an
Well,
animal...
why are we still here?
That's a very good point, actually. It's better that we go away, isn't it?
Let's take the Bear Grylls approach to natural history. There was a town, well, 10 kilometres away. Why don't we go into the town, have a drink, check into a hotel? How's that sound?
And then come back tomorrow and
Yes.
check the cameras.
Yes.
That's how you're supposed to use them. It's in the instructions. That's what you do. You set it.
The next morning, with James in a state of deep puzzlement, Hammond and I checked out the ruined trap cameras. So, let me just get this clear. The jaguar mauled your camera?
Yeah.
Is that really where it's bitten it?
Yeah, look, bits come off it.
So, but he's broken it.
Yes, he's broken.
But did
anyway.
this is the important thing. Did we get any pictures?
All right, look.
No.
Something triggered it. Maybe a leaf. Ah, look! There!
Where?
There! That's
Oh,
it.
that's it!
That's it
God,
walking
it's
back. It's a
that's
prank.
how camouflaged
There's
it
his head,
is.
there's his head! That's its actual face.
I mean, they're not-
There.
Yeah, but he's got a tree in front of him.
Oh, yeah, but that's context, that's habitat.
What's that?
This is when it got destroyed. That's its mouth. That's whiskers. Look.
No.
That's a jaguar biting. That is an action shot. That's probably got awards all over it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Eyes.
Now that is a great picture, and we can move on.
It is.
We have ticked that box. That's the ace of spades, the jaguar. That's Saddam Hussein. We've now got to go and get his sons. With the jaguar in the bag, our sights were set on the next target. Another rare and reclusive creature, the spectacled bear. We now have to drive 200 miles to find the sort of terrain where we're going to be able to photograph the King of Spades, Edgar Hussein, Paddington. And eventually we arrived in Spectacle Bear country. Right, now listen. What to do?
I like your trousers.
Well, no, at least he's trying. He's making an effort. But you should have gone the whole hog. Maybe some nice, hey, we're out in the outdoors, some nice chaps. Suede, but ventilated at the back. And that shirt, you've picked up that colour. Have you been getting advice?
Maybe turn our attention to the bears now, to Paddington.
His skin's flaking. You should moisturise.
It's... What?
You should moisturise.
A little bit.
In the
Why should I
modern...
It's
moisturise?
because your skin's flaking.
Because
off.
you're
You've
dry.
You look like something found in a pyramid.
Anyway, listen, we must turn our attention.
Let's have a look at the sarcophagus.
I'm not putting that in the British Museum.
Rather than put up with any more of this persecution, I insisted we saddle up and set off to look for Paddington.
Keep it diagonal, obviously, while crossing these things.
Oh, shite!
Oh! Oh! Look at you with a wheel in the air.
Can we please try not to make this look like it's a problem, because the ladies and gentlemen think we're hopeless.
I tried to drive myself out, which went well.
Speed and power.
He's just dug himself a hole.
So I asked Hammond for help, but predictably, his pickup truck chose that moment to go into one-wheel drive.
Oh dear.
There was only one solution. With the rope hitched up, we were ready to go.
So I'll give you a small tug,
Was that a gentle tug?
There we go.
and then it's down to you because I haven't got the weight to pull you, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go!
A Fiat Panda!
Yes!
Jeremy Corbyn just pulled Freddie Mercury out.
It's a meeting of minds.
I'm not sure we're very good at fist bumping.
With that calamity sorted, Hammond got four-wheel drive back, and we resumed our mission.
Right. Let's go on a bear hunt.
Go. Oh, dearie me.
Actually looking forward to seeing a bear, I really am. I like all bears except polar bears, which I hate. They're vicious and they eat school children.
Joyously, we soon found another suitable spot, where I discovered I had a small problem.
I'm still not high enough up to see over the shrubs.
Well, nothing you can do about it now.
What?
Shut up. Nothing you can do about
Yeah,
it.
I'm telling you, I just wish I was a bit
That's how
higher.
high you are.
This is... What was that?
It's bear noise. Shh. I'm not bored now. That is a bear. It's a bear. It's a bear. I can't see it. Fantastic. There's a bear. Yes, it is. It moved. Shh. That's his face. Oh, yes.
Having had a decent night's sleep, we convened to plan our next move.
Morning.
What's the matter with your face?
You're not good.
No.
It's like being in The Singing Detective.
It is.
It's a bloody roof. Anyway, listen.
Sorry, I'm briefly mesmerised.
Listen.
I'm back.
While you were out this morning buying new action trousers, I see, I have got a book. All of Colombia's wildlife is in this book. Yep, all of it. I've been through it. Guess what there isn't?
A hippopotamus.
Well, so far we've got pigeon, dog, horse.
Donkey.
Don't bring those up, please. Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Bear.
Bear.
Yes.
Condor is next. Condor is next.
Is there a case, I think there is, for a little light car modification?
I agree, there is. There is. I think I might be scaring them off a bit. I could make some changes.
I'm
Tell
just
you what I
thinking...
could give my car. A roof.
Yeah, that's
There
a
is
good
evidence
idea.
to suggest in your flaking visage.
Then you wouldn't look like Michael Gambon in the 80s.
I am Michael Gambon in the 80s.
We then went shopping in Bogota's massive auto district. 20 city blocks of nothing but shops selling car parts.
OK, you have to find mine.
Where is it?
Well, yours is the one disguised as a bush in an industrial car park.
I've camouflaged it.
Well, yes, you painted it.
It's got roll-down netting that goes over the windows when I'm using it as a hide, and it has an inbuilt... Well, it's got a raise on it as well, because the one problem I've had is ground clearance.
What?
Yeah.
You spent 2 days laughing at Hammond and me because we've got cars that have been raised and how awful they are, and then you've done exactly the same.
As an alternative expression, rather than I'm going to raise my car, why not I'm going to ruin
Yes.
my car?
What
which
you've done is
it does.
ruined it.
Well, let's see. I've done it very subtly.
Well, can we move on to Hammond, who's obviously
If
gone
you can find it.
completely mad?
I too have gone the camouflage route because it's green, as you can see. I've mended the half shaft up here. That's the only mechanical work I've had to do because other than that, it's been perfect. Yes, this structure here
Yeah.
is a hide.
I know it is. It's a hide on a monster truck. And you, because it's you put 2 cameras in there to film yourself.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
I love the idea that you two, afraid there's no other word, morons, have decided that somehow you can camouflage your cars so they won't be seen by aminals. I have already proved that mine can drive right up to a bear. He's interested.
Speaking of yours, what have you done? Whoa, what's all that on the back?
That, gentlemen, is a scissor lift.
What?
It's a scissor lift. Simply get in that and rise up. So then I have
so you're going to be a window cleaner.
The only thing this didn't really have was proper elevation. Now I have it.
How high does it go?
38 feet.
Really?
Yes.
It'll just fall over.
Aha! That's why I fitted it with outriggers.
They're not far enough apart or big enough.
They slide...
How much does it weigh, that?
I've added half a ton. And there's something else I've done. Oxygen is fitted for my engine
Why do you need oxygen?
because we're going very high.
Well, 38 feet.
No, 15,000 feet. More, actually. Nearly 16,000 feet.
Really?
Why?
Condors. They're in the sky.
That is
So I've got oxygen for the altitude, which
Yeah.
we're going to.
Yeah,
That'll stop my face disintegrating.
It won't.
And that means I can photograph birds.
it won't.
As it was another 200-mile drive to reach Condor Country, we decided to get cracking immediately.
Oh, great.
Go. For God's sake. Drive carefully. Here we go. It is quite scary through here.
cars. Oh my God!
I cannot wait to see a Condor because they are one of the most superb creations on Earth. They just are magnificent. They can stay at 18,000 feet all day, maybe flap their arms once. Right, gentlemen, we're passing 10,000 feet now. How's your temperature gauges?
Mine's getting hot, really hot.
Weirdly, my car isn't overheating, but it is producing some steam because I think maybe the cap isn't perfectly sealed and the ambient pressure is going down.
Yeah.
Why does he say ambient pressure? Why not just pressure?
We continue on Jeremy's journey up into the heavens.
Right, we're at something like 11,500 feet. We're still climbing. Car is definitely struggling now. The engine burns a mixture of oxygen and petrol, mainly oxygen. The oxygen is going down, so you can't burn as much petrol, so the engine develops less power. We'll have to go for second. Climb, Pepe!
Keep an eye on the temperature. It is working extra hard. We might just pass a critical level at which this car can't suck in enough oxygen to mix with fuel to burn. And then I'll run out of steam.
The good thing is that while my colleagues were painting their cars, I was fitting mine with oxygen tanks. So when I start to really struggle, I shall simply feed pure O2 to the engine and me.
Oh my God. Come on.
I mean, how are things in your monster truck?
Not brilliant, it's gone very wheezy and
It's getting very hot.
We just passed 14,000 feet now. Really running out of power. Switching to oxygen for the engine. There we are, 2 clicks. Right, watch this.
Go.
Thank you so much. Come on, Z. Yes, you little beauty. Ooh. I may have overreached myself a little bit.
Oh, look at all the condors I can see. They're everywhere. It doesn't work. Let's face it.
I've got a brilliant idea. Let's just get off this dusty bit and set our hides up there.
Yes.
So we drove off the dust, found a new likely-looking spot, and when the clouds had lifted, we set about getting ready to do photography.
The idea of the netting is it stops the shine on the windows, which is very visible to animals. Oh. There was some on this side as well.
Right, it's ready.
You're going up in it?
Well, why'd you not?
Well, I've seen one reason. You see the maximum weight? 159 kilograms.
Well,
You're not going anywhere, are you?
well, the camera is quite heavy.
No. Oh, OK, yes, the camera. Why?
This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure.
I wouldn't like that. That's really horrible. Keep going until the end bit drops out.
Why don't you two
Yes?
get in your cars?
Yes?
Okay.
And can I just reinforce one thing?
What?
Silence is key.
Agreed.
That ridge up there looks promising.
Right. Where is it?
No, back a bit, back.
I can't go back. I'll have to go all the way round.
What? I can hear it from up here. Right, that one there, stop.
Got it. I think I'll make a coffee. Sorry.
Then it was May's turn to disturb the peace.
What is that?
It's a bird call.
It's a duck.
Moments later, though, there was an even worse noise.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
If only there was something tall and metal that would attract the lightning.
Not wishing to be fried, I quickly descended. And then we all tried to outrun the storm, which didn't work.
Oh my God. We're gonna die! How does this go? Come on.
Mercifully, though, the storm passed, so we drove down the rough and icy mountain track, long into the night. And the next morning, woke for a rethink in a makeshift camp on the edge of a town.
What are you doing?
I told you condors live down here.
He's living. It was living up there, and it's had engine failure, and it's crashed here.
Doesn't matter how it got here. Fact is, it is, and I've got pictures of it. That means we're done.
You can't put that on an Amazon screensaver.
Why not?
Well, it's lost quite a lot of its majesty.
But it's a condor, and that means we're finished. That's it, we've done. James, I've got a condor shot.
Have you? You done it?
That is the final one. It's a condor, in camera, finished, out of here.
Hammond was wrong, though. We still had one more animal to find, the one that didn't make any sense. The hippopotamus.
Right, listen. This is obviously some kind of town. I am a journalist, and a bloody good one. So why don't I pop into town and see if I can find out anything about this hippopotamus story?
Having got the information, I went back to my colleagues.
Any joy?
More than. I have heard the most astonishing story. Apparently, there was this guy in Colombia who had a business exporting forest products all around the world, okay? Really, really successful. So successful, he bought himself some pet hippopotamuses.
Who was he?
Pablo, someone or other. Anyway, the police shot him.
Why?
I don't know. They shot him, and after he was dead, his hippopotamuses escaped. Yeah? And they've been living in the wild and breeding. So there are hippopotamuses here, and they are wild, and I know where they are, and they're only 120 kilometres away.
Well, we're in.
Let's do it.
Finish your coffees.
That's
That is
excellent.
staggering news.
The only thing is, for this 120 kilometres, would either of you mind if I modified my car by unmodifying it?
We were now on the last 75 miles of our 1,300-mile trek through what had turned out to be one of the world's most incredible countries.
If you were to combine Canada and Russia and Australia, you still wouldn't have the variety in terms of terrain and temperature and wildlife that we've seen on this absolutely epic journey.
But of course, we wouldn't have been able to see any of that without our cars.
Right, this apparently is the area where the businessman lived. And if you go down his escape road here...
His what?
Escape road, he built it in case the police came, and so he could get away.
Wasn't very good then, was it?
No, it wasn't. Anyway, if you go down it, there's a pool where the hippos are now living.
Target
That's
acquired.
it.
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Hippos. So, quick dash down the escape route to the water, grab a shot of a hippo.
Yes, viewers, about a kilometre to go, and I haven't been run over by a monster truck. There we go. Quite slow there. Rubbish.
lighting.
Hammond, I can only see you behind me. Can you see Clarkson behind you?
No, just looking for him.
At that moment, though, we were distracted by what lay in front of us.
That is a pond. That's a pond.
Rather than wait for Jeremy, we decided to be ready in case our final target appeared.
Hammond. Look at his big fat face.
Yes.
Well, that's it.
That's tremendous. Hippopotamus.
Photos of a hippo.
Congratulations.
Well done us.
Well, I say we've done it. We've done it. Where's...
And I've been worrying about that. Well, if it gets here, you realise that'll be the first time any car on any of these trips has ever got to the end without a single fault. Nothing's gone wrong with it. See, that's about the only time that's ever happened. A car get to the end,
you're
it hasn't
right.
broken at all. That's a record.
You don't think he fell off that little scary bridgey bit?
I don't know. He overcooked it because it's near the end.
Oh, look at that for a tiny line. Oh, God. That's not do. For God's sake. Oops. That's not do.
Is that?
It is.
Oh, brief moment of elation followed by plummeting depression. Where have you been?
Welcome.
I've been mending my camera.
You don't need it. We've done it, mate. We've got shots of a hippo. It is done. We're finished. We've done it.
Behold the
Done it.
hippo.
We've got shots of a hippo just then.
Came out a couple of minutes ago.
So that's the end.
Yeah,
That is
job
the
done.
end.
Well, on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. We hope you enjoy looking at the photographs we've taken.
They won't.
Well, some of them are quite good.
Well, one or two of them are good.
No.
Well, whatever. We'll see you very soon. Goodbye.